Do you want to know how to get the highest sale price for your home? Today, I'm going to dive into a strategy that is going to decrease days on market, increase the number of offers that you're going to get your home sold faster and for top dollar. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about real estate in Vancouver, subscribe below. Tap the bell to be notified of all the current market updates here in the Vancouver area. My name is Megan Becker. Myself and my team get calls every day from people looking to make this incredible city their home. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give me a call, text, or email, and I'm excited to tour you around the greatest city in Canada. Did you know that statistics have shown that staging your home is the best strategy to accomplish this? In this video, I'm going to highlight the 5 main points of staging, break down and share some examples, and make sure you stick around to the very end because I am the pickiest person when it comes to making sure your home looks like a 12 out of 10 when it hits the market. Okay, let's talk context first. So what exactly is staging? So I define staging as presenting your home in a way that is going to appeal to the most amount of buyers because you have no idea who is going to buy your property. You might have an idea, of a demographic or something like that based on the type of property that you have. But in my experience, you have no idea who's going to walk through that door and who that property is going to appeal to. So you want to make sure that regardless of the age, demographic, interests, religion, sport team fan, whatever that is, you want to appeal to the most amount of people. And so staging can range from just rearranging your furniture, decluttering. It might include painting, or you might go to the extent of hiring out a staging company to bring in furniture for your property. Okay, quick little story before I dive into things. So I listed a condo in the spring, and part of my listing process before going to market or before even determining a price is talking about strategy with my seller. And so what I did is I looked at all the comparable properties in the building. So I looked at recent sales and I looked at all of the active listings, and I found one active listing that was a very comparable property to ours. It was the same bedroom count, bathroom count, similar square footage, similar floor plan. This one had actually been on the market for a couple months longer, and they had gone through multiple price reductions. And obviously the longer that you sit on the market, the less money that you're going to get naturally, especially if it's vacant. You're going to be losing money with all the carrying costs of holding on to that property. And so I took a look at this and I looked at the photos. The photos did not allow this property to show very well. It was, for privacy issues, I'm not going to share the photos of this actual unit, but let's just say it was very cluttered. The furniture was way too large and it just wasn't clean. And that's what our competition was. So it was kind of easy for us. But my seller, again, we talked about strategy, and I said our best opportunity, because there were some other units that were sitting on the market in this building. And I said our best strategy here is when buyers come into your property, we need to wow their socks off. And that's exactly what we did. We determined that that was the best strategy. The seller was on board with that, and they wanted to go ahead. We hired a staging company. We brought in furniture to really showcase the space because it was a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and it was a little bit it was around 650 square feet. And so we wanted to give buyers an idea of what they could do with the space. Because if you walk into an empty, especially condo, when it's smaller, it's tough for buyers to imagine what they can do with the space. They think that they need all this room, and then they walk into an empty unit, and it's tough for people to use their imagination. Especially here in Vancouver, there's a lot of small spaces, and you need to be creative, and there's a lot of creative designs to maximize space. And that's exactly what we did with this unit. And moral of the story is that ours sold first, and we ended up selling for a higher sale price than that other unit. Okay, so you're probably curious about what I actually did here. So the first one, it didn't really apply in this example, but this is a conversation. This is where I start when sellers are living in the home. The first one is to declutter. And I always say this, that there's a difference between when you are living in your home versus when you are staging it, getting ready to sell. And I preface my staging conversations with my sellers is I never want you to take any of this advice personally. This isn't anything to go against your taste or your personal items in your home. This is purely my objective reasoning because I want to help you get the highest price for your property. And so that's where all of this advice is coming from, because I know sometimes people can be a little, take offense to it, or there's personal items, or people like living in different ways. I get it. People that have kids or pets, you've got toys everywhere, and that's just a part of your life. But that doesn't carry over well to helping your property sell and showcase its best features and its best light when buyers are seeing it. And so the biggest thing when it comes to decluttering is I use the example, pretend like you're walking into a show home. They have very little items on the counter. I know personal use, you like to have like the blender and the toaster and the air fryer. I know I keep my air fryer on my counter. It lives there. But I said these items, the majority of the items on your counter have to be tucked away and in the cupboards. Okay, so just jumping on the computer here, because I wanted to showcase some actual examples because I think it really brings things to light here. So this is a before and after to show decluttering. So you'll see in this top picture here, they've got photos on the fridge, they've got multiple items on the kitchen counter, and if you were to walk into a home in the before in the top photo, you'd probably think like very tidy, it's probably a family, they've got pictures of their kids or friends on the fridge. But you can see compared to the bottom picture, the top one, it just looks cluttered. And photos really showcase everything. And that's why I'm very picky when it comes to items on the counter or things on the fridge. We want to remove all of those items off of the fridge. We want to remove the majority of the items off of the counter, because as you can see in this photo, that the bottom picture just shows a lot better. This next photo is a really good example of decluttering as well. So you'll notice it's basically the same furniture here. It's different angles of the room, but we've got items that are tucked away and in neatly order on the bookshelves. We've got the pillows that there's, one pillow on the chair. There's less items on that little side table. And there's less furniture there. There's no items left on the couch. There's no little step stool there. And you can even see in the shelving unit on the bottom, it's in the left-hand side of the screen or on the photo there. There's nice baskets and items are put into baskets, where on that shelf on the top, all the items are strewn about in the bookshelf there. And it just, again, it looks cluttered there from the photo. But this is another example of, if you have kids, and I walked into your house and you had that before picture on the top, again, that's probably how most people actually live. And again, another example of staging is very different than how you would actually live in your home. So other examples of decluttering, very similar to the kitchen example, is your bathroom. I always say remove all of the items out of your shower. Nobody wants to see, half bottles of shampoo or bars of soap or anything like that. Remove all the items from the shower or around the ledge of the bathtub, and on the counter, maybe one glass and a toothbrush, but that really is it. Even like just the item of a toothbrush can often just look odd in a photo. And so I always err on the side, maybe put like a small plant in the corner in front of the mirror, but clear everything off of the counter there. And then things like kids' toys and pets' toys. We need to clean all of those up, tidy them up. I usually recommend, especially if you have pets, just to have like one basket full of pet toys, and you can tuck that away, off to the side. We can put it in the closet when we do photos, or maybe just have it off to the side when you were doing showings. And one of the biggest reasons, other than clutter just doesn't look good in photos, when buyers walk into your home, clutter, it just creates this stress. And if you have worked from home, which probably most people by this point, 2023, have for at least some point, maybe depending on what you do. But if you're working from home, say you're working in your kitchen, and there's a mess on the counter, and there's, clothes at the entryway, and there's dishes over here, and there's groceries that need to be put away. It just creates this stress in the back of your mind. I know it does for me anyways. And you're trying to do this work and you're trying to focus, and then in the back of your mind, like, oh, I need to clean up this, or this needs to be put away, and this, and it's hard for you to focus. And that's the same thing that happens when buyers walk into your home, is if there is a mess or if there is something distracting them, it's hard for them to envision their life there, which is ultimately what you want them to do when they walk into your home. Number 2 is to remove excess furniture or replace oversized furniture with smaller pieces. The reason being is that a lot of furniture can make a space look very small, and that's the same thing that oversized furniture does. You might love this like giant comfy sectional couch, but if the room dimensions don't support that large piece of furniture, it can often make in photos, it can make the room look very small. And then the same thing when buyers walk into the actual living room or bedroom or whatever that is. And then we also want to remove old, worn out furniture. And I get it. Again, there's, you might have this like super comfy lazy boy that you love sitting in, but maybe the leather's cracked, or, it's got a rip in it. We want to remove that because, again, it gives us this whole impression of what your home looks like. Okay, let's take a quick look at these photos here, the before and after. So this just shows that size of furniture and the amount of furniture. So in this top before photo, we've got 2 couches. Both of them, they're like a love seat size, but they close off this room because it basically creates this kind of sectional where you've got these 2 large pieces of furniture. And I know the angle is different here, but as you can see, that replacing this love seat with 2 smaller chairs just opens up that room significantly. And so this is that same angle here as that top photo. It just gives the overall appearance that the room is larger there. Number 3 is closets, storage areas, and under the sink. And these are all areas that buyers are gonna peek in. I'm the most guilty one. I will always open closets. I will always look under the sinks, and I always look in storage areas. One, because, well, for a buyer standpoint, they want to understand, especially in Vancouver, spaces are small, and storage is a big deal. So people want to understand where they can put, extra luggage and, maybe seasonal toys, equipment, golf clubs, snowboards, bikes, things like that. People are going to want to know where they're going to be able to put different things. But the reason that I look at those places, especially under the sink, is because of the age-old principle: how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I always tell clients, we'll be shopping and we'll be touring through properties, and I'll be looking under the sinks, and some people are like, "What are you looking for, Megan?" And I just say, the reason why I always look under the sink is because I believe that a homeowner, if they're keeping under the sink organized, that is usually a telltale sign that they're organized in other areas of their life, which is usually a telltale sign that their home maintenance is up to date. It's not a fool-safe plan, or it's not a fool-safe, ideal, but it is that age-old principle that how you do one thing is how you do everything. And I do find that overflows. And so that's one of the reasons why I always look in those areas. So, when we're decluttering, we don't just want to shove everything into a door and then hope the door closes and nobody nooks in there. We want to, I think moving is one of the best opportunities to start decluttering and actually getting rid of items. Another quick example, I was representing a buyer. We helped her purchase a condo last year, and when we went and viewed it, we walked in the property and it was immaculate. Like the carpet, it was all vacuumed in the same lines, and it was beautifully staged. And we opened up all of the closets and under the sinks and everything. This was next level organization. They had This seller had everything organized. There was little drawers inside the closets. They were all labeled with every single item. The laundry area, it was probably one of the most well-organized laundry areas for a small space in a condo that I'd ever seen. And that's what I said to my client, is that this is a really amazing sign. Whether you like this level of organization or not, when it comes to purchasing a property, if the seller has taken this much care and attention into organizing their property, they're likely up to date on their home maintenance. And when we did the property inspection, I don't think there were anything really that came back, as far as even like little things like caulking around the tub or the toilet, which comes back on most inspections. Like everything was so well taken care of. Number 4 is to depersonalize everything. And so what I mean by this is we want to remove items that are attached to you personally. So we want to remove the family photos. We want to remove any religious items, any sports teams banners, or anything that is going to insinuate any type of beliefs or, political parties or anything like that. And the reason being is because, again, it goes back to that, definition of what is staged. We want your property to appeal to the most amount of buyers. So why get rid of family photos? Well, one, we don't want people when they're entering your home to be, oh, who is that? I wonder if I know that person. And then they're looking at maybe you like to travel and you have all these travel photos all around. We want them, again, to focus on the property. That's, again, why if you look at staged homes, like show homes, they've got pictures of, scenery or a flower or something like that, maybe abstract art. And so same thing with any of those other items. We want to remove all of those so that regardless if it's a family person, it's a single, a couple, older, younger, whatever beliefs or whatever orientation they are, we want to remove as much as possible so that anyone could walk in their home and potentially envision it as their own. And number 5 is the outdoor spaces and garage. So this is an area that think of it as an extension of your property, especially if someone's looking in the garage. I've had lots of clients, and this was more so back in Edmonton, where I had one client in particular. He's like, I don't even really care about the house. He just had this list of this ideal dream garage because he had lots of toys. He loved the outdoors. He wanted a place to put his vehicles. He wanted a place to put all of his summer and winter toys and bikes and everything like that. A place to do woodworking. And so you never know who's going to view your property. So you want to make sure, again, stuff is organized and staged well. Same thing goes with the outdoor space. This is an extension of your property. It's another living area. And in the front, it creates this incredible curb appeal when people are walking up to your home. So when you're thinking about getting your home ready to sell, we want to stage those outdoor spaces. So whether that's a rooftop patio or a deck space, have some outdoor furniture or stage that. If you're selling a condo and you've got a balcony, you can do the turf on the ground there or the tile. It looks really, really nice. So this is a great example of a balcony. This is probably maybe 100 square feet, if that, but they've got this nice turf laid down, created almost like this outdoor oasis with the lights. There's seating areas, basically a place to hang out. It creates this really inviting area. This one is another really great example. This is very minimally done. There are 2 chairs, some nice plants, but it creates, again, this outdoor living space. Another really cool idea for balconies is getting one of these balcony bars. And you can attach it to the balcony and it creates this workspace, or you can have a drink, watch the sunrise or watch the sunset, grab a couple stools there. And again, it creates this extra living space. I really hope that you're getting value from this so far. And I'm curious, if you've sold your home recently and have some really great staging tips, I'd love for you to throw them in the comments. Maybe they're ones that I haven't even heard of. All right, this is what you've been sticking around to. So here are my secret tips. They're not really secret. They're just all my recommendations that I give to sellers because, like I said, I am so picky because online photos and video is the very first place that buyers are going to see your property. It's going to be the determining factor if they want to actually make the trip to go and view it in person. And so that's why I am so picky on how your home shows online. Couple of the recommendations are white linens and white towels. If you walk into a 5-star hotel, that's exactly what they have. They've got white towels, white linens on the bed, because it creates almost this luxury, high-end, clean feel, you know, folding those towels in that nice hotel way. The next one is matching light bulbs. You want those natural bright, not the fluorescent ones, but the natural bright lights that will showcase your home in its best light. I like some of the dim lights because I don't like harsh lights when I'm like in my personal living space. But when you're viewing a property, those natural bright lights are the ones that are going to give it the brightest feel. Next is I like neutral colors for like large items, and then adding little pops of color with decor items, plants, flowers, like throw cushions on a couch or maybe a fruit bowl in the kitchen. But I like neutral for a lot of like the larger pieces, and then throwing in pops color here and there. Next one is washing the windows. I know lots of people are so attracted to natural light, and so that's really going to help bring in as much natural light as possible. And then fresh air. So opening those windows and having some type of neutral smell. Don't go too overboard with the potpourri or candles or air fresheners, but especially if you've got pets or anything like that, we just want to open the windows, let things air out, and then maybe have like some neutral scent there, nothing super overbearing. I know some people will even go as far to, you know, throw a batch of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies in the oven just to invite people in. I've never personally recommended that. I don't necessarily know if that's a big strategy or not, but I don't know. Have you used it? Put it in the comments. I'm curious. I know there's been a few times recently, actually, we walked into a property. They didn't have cookies for us, but they had like a box of chocolates, which was a nice touch. Didn't provide any smell, but it was a nice little touch. And that about wraps it up. Those are the biggest things that are going to help you decrease the time on the market, get the most amount of offers, get the highest price for your property, and get it sold the fastest. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're thinking of making a move here in the Greater Vancouver area, I would love the opportunity to help. All my info is in the description box below. And until next time, I'm gonna go join some friends for happy hour.